Manhattan Contested Divorce Attorney. If you're facing a contested divorce in Manhattan, your future, finances, and parental rights may be decided in court. A contested divorce in Manhattan occurs when spouses cannot agree on one or more significant issues. These issues often include child custody, child support, spousal support, or division of marital property. When spouses cannot resolve these disputes on their own, the court must intervene. Unlike an uncontested divorce, a contested divorce requires judicial involvement to reach a final decision. In New York, you must establish legal grounds to file for divorce. The most common ground is the no-fault basis of an irretrievable breakdown of the marriage for at least 6 months under New York Domestic Relations Law Section 170. The court will not enter a judgment under this ground until economic and parenting issues are resolved by agreement or court decision. New York also recognizes fault-based grounds, including cruel and inhuman treatment, abandonment for 1 year, imprisonment for 3 or more consecutive years, adultery, and living separate and apart following a separation agreement or court order. The choice of grounds does not determine whether your divorce will be contested. A divorce becomes contested when spouses disagree on the terms, not because of the legal ground selected. The contested divorce process in Manhattan begins when one spouse files a summons with notice or a summons and verified complaint in the New York County Supreme Court. The filing spouse must properly serve the divorce papers on the other spouse. The responding spouse must file an answer within 20 days if served in person in New York, or within 30 days if served by another authorized method or outside the state. After the initial filings, the plaintiff must file a request for judicial intervention to have a judge assigned to the case. The court then schedules a preliminary conference. At the preliminary conference, the judge sets deadlines for discovery and addresses temporary issues such as support or custody. Both spouses must complete and exchange a statement of net worth at least 10 days before the preliminary conference. The statement of net worth is a detailed financial disclosure form listing income, expenses, assets, and debts. Discovery is the formal process where both parties exchange financial information and gather evidence. Discovery may include interrogatories, which are written questions answered under oath. It may also include document requests for bank statements, tax returns, retirement account statements, and business records. Depositions allow attorneys to question parties or witnesses under oath with a court reporter present. Subpoenas may be issued to banks, employers, or other third parties to obtain relevant records. New York courts generally set a schedule for completing discovery and filing a note of issue within 6 months of the preliminary conference. If the case does not settle, either party may file a note of issue stating that the case is ready for trial. At trial, the judge hears evidence and arguments before issuing a decision on all contested issues. New York follows the principle of equitable distribution when dividing marital property. Equitable distribution means property is divided fairly, though not necessarily equally. Marital property generally includes assets acquired during the marriage, regardless of whose name appears on the title. Separate property typically includes assets owned before marriage, inheritances received by one spouse, gifts made to one spouse, and certain personal injury compensation. If separate and marital property become commingled, part of the property may be treated as marital. Courts consider factors such as the length of the marriage, each spouse's income and property, age and health, contributions to the marriage, and the needs of a custodial parent. The court has discretion to determine what division is fair under the circumstances. Many contested divorces are resolved through negotiation, mediation, or settlement conferences before reaching trial. Settlement can offer more control, privacy, and lower costs compared to litigation. However, trial may be necessary when one spouse refuses to provide full financial disclosure, when complex valuation issues arise, or when high-conflict custody disputes cannot be resolved through negotiation. Contested divorce may also be appropriate when significant assets are involved or when there are concerns about domestic violence or financial imbalance. Even if a divorce begins as contested, spouses can later reach an agreement and proceed to final judgment without trial. Because contested divorce involves strict deadlines, financial disclosure requirements, and complex legal procedures, working with a divorce lawyer can help protect your rights. An experienced attorney can ensure filings are completed correctly, discovery is thorough, and your position is effectively presented in court. A knowledgeable lawyer can also evaluate whether settlement or trial is the better strategy based on your circumstances. The law office of Ryan Besinque represents clients in contested divorce matters throughout Manhattan and the Five Boroughs. Ryan Besinque has practiced divorce and family law since 2012 and represents clients at the New York County Supreme Court and Manhattan Family Court. The law firm handles all aspects of contested divorce, from initial filing through trial preparation. If you are dealing with disputes over custody, support, or property division, taking timely action is critical. The law office of Ryan Besinque is located at 115 West 25th Street 4th floor, New York, New York, 10001, United States, and can be reached at 929-251-4477.